What's going on, HeroClix fan? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Modern HeroClix World Championship for 2025. Take a look at the event and take a look at the winning team. And I'm hoping this will just help out people who are interested in the event or how HeroClix is working, the meta, and how to build a team. So let's kind of dive right into it. So there was 184 players for this year's Modern Worlds Championship. And this is the Modern Worlds is a very sought after title. I think every competitive player, or every HeroClix player really, dreams of winning it. You get to design that figure, you get tons of prizes, you get a trophy, and just a really sought after title in HeroClix. So Joseph Harris came in first. He went 11-0. He's been steamrolling this year. I have seen all his games online. Really on fire. I think the team that he has is just a really good team, and we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Then we have John Michael DeHilio in second. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name too bad. He was playing that Harley Quinn team, which I thought was kind of cool to see Harley Quinn to make it to the top like that. He went 10-1. Daniel Powell with the Kong Pack went 8-2. So taking a look at rounds, looks like there was 11 rounds to top 2. Oh, that was the top 2. So there was 11 rounds in this tournament. And taking a second to look at the meta, Major Ox Bunker, Destroyer. 102 teams had the Destroyer armor. Major Brock's Bunker was on 88 teams. Animal Man was on 88. We saw Heart-Shaped Herb, Beetlejuice, Chthon, Fortify, Ares, of course the Phone Booth, Perdegaton. So let's take a look at the main force here. We got Perdegaton on 64 teams. Black Panther is on 46. Colossus is number 3 on 46 teams. Kong here is on, 43 teams. And number 4 on the list. And we have Kevin on 34 teams. And we got Daredevil. I'm surprised there's any Daredevils left. Did you guys see that team where he had like 5 or 6 Daredevils? How many teams was that on? 32. The Phoenix on 42 teams. Timebreakers, of course. Spirit of Vengeance, Red Hulk. I think of the top 16 teams, Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk was on 10 of the top 16 teams. I think so was Kevin. So it definitely shows you how meta those two pieces are. Then Copycat was on 36 teams, and that was number 10. And then, of course, you can watch the World Championship Finals here. They even have a little media section, which is really cool for the coverage. And that, of course, is by Dial H. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ghost Rider gang, Joseph's team, and taking a look at the main force. So Colossus, and Colossus is just a beast. He's honestly, in my opinion, if not the best, one of the best primes prior to rotation. Just so good. 9 clicks of health for 80 points. He can't be outwitted. He has Impervious that can reduce penetrating damage. Battle Fury, Super Strength. He's just a tank. Possibly the best Colossus ever made. Probably. And also a super cool figure. He has relevance to the comic book story. It's a really cool story where Colossus actually gets possessed by the Shadow King. And I might actually do a video on that just for fun. But super good. I had seen him use the mind control like I think Kong, and then knock somebody else out. So definitely, and then you deal damage to it, that much damage to him anyway. Super good. Safeguard mind control. Opposing characters can't use safeguard mind control, so you can do that to Kong, right? Then Unstoppable, that Impervious. He can bust through walls. Just really well costed. This whole team is basically the best figures in their categories, as well as the most well-rounded costs. Like 80 points for this guy is freaking good. It's ridiculous almost, in my opinion. So good. And then, of course, you add something, all of the sideline stuff, equipment, The Destroyer armor is giving him +2 defense. Now he's at a 22 defense. And he's giant. Are you kidding me? Just so good. And of course we had Ghost Rider. Honestly, I used to think of him as like a secondary attacker, but Ghost Rider can do some serious damage. He's really good at taking out other people's support pieces and other surrounding enemy pieces on the map. That hypersonic speed, he ignores characters. Joseph here was using him with the... So Ghost Rider had the Crimson Gem, as well as Scarlet Witch as the pilot. So Ghost Rider, just a really great 70-point piece. I think he's always proven that. You also get all that stuff from your pilot, all the powers. He was giving him Penetrating Psychic Blast and Shape Change, which helps him survive a little more. He's invincible, he's Mystics, lots of great stuff about him. Can also deal mass damage. I mean, with Chthon, we're dealing 5 damage. If you're hypersonicking up to somebody and shooting them, you have a potential to be doing 5 damage penetrating. And that could even be more if you used the Crimson Gem to pick up, an object or something and smack somebody with it. But with Ghost Rider, he was actually picking up the telephone booth. And then this King of the Underworld, just a super great trait. Your characters can use their powers regardless of opposing effects. Then he has that regeneration and willpower. Stuntman of Justice. Just honestly a really damn good piece. I think it's really that he's 70 points. He's got 7 clicks of health. He's got tons of utility on him. Then you throw something on like Chthon. He's dealing 5 damage. And then if you hit somebody with something, you could be possibly doing like 7 damage. Then with that Penetrating Psychic Blast, you could be doing 5 damage to somebody's face. Not to get too carried away here. But so really I think the strategy after I watched all of the streams and videos, especially the ones with Joseph. So, I think he had Colossus carrying the heart-shaped herb. You really get him out there. And, people can't even hit a 22 defense. Ghost Rider was picking up the phone booth and basically making hypersonicking out, hitting somebody, and then finishing the hypersonic next to somebody like Colossus. So you give him the shape change. So really utilizing that hypersonic speed and stuff like that. And then also Colossus is using the heart-shaped herb, because at the end of the turn, the heart-shaped herb can heal somebody adjacent 1 click. So Ghost Rider ends his turn next to Colossus, and Colossus is able to heal Ghost Rider 1 click because he took a damage from Chthon. Whenever he makes an attack, he has to take 1 unavoidable damage. So really cool little utility there and strategy. There was another one I wanted to talk about, but now I'm trying to think about it. I think he did do quite a bit of picking up terrain and setting it back down. Definitely something you can do. Colossus did, like I said, mind control a couple people, I think, in some of the games I saw. He was really rolling very well on most of his rolls, but he also did have Kevin to pick up that slack. Kevin puts in a lot of work. He gets to make that Marvel re-roll, as well as also he had Avatar of Khonshu on him. So basically you can do 2 re-rolls at 8 range and, do it through anybody or anything. So super good. Kevin, I've always thought Kevin was super broken. I could see him being a menace in silver, even on like a robot team. For 40 points, just what you're getting from him. And he's got outwit. Just so good. Thinking if there's anything else about the strategy here. He was using, Black Panther. He can nail that stuff on your opponent's sideline. Just a really great piece. Leadership, outwit. He does that. I don't think I really saw him use the Vibranium and take an action token off. But for 30 points, I think I did see him mastermind before. He mastermind to a time breaker. For 30 points, he's a really good figure. He's got stealth too. Oh, I did want to say that about Kevin too. So Kevin, he was previously on this team. Kevin was utilizing Tauret, and that was giving Kevin the ability to use support and outwit. But it looks like he changed it up to Avatar of Khonshu, which I think was a really cool choice, a good choice probably. Probably wasn't utilizing that healing from Tauret as much as he thought he would. Then that Ring of Telekinesis. It's really cool because it's free for Mystical and Warriors, so it's free on Black Panther. You get that free Telekinesis, but only to place a terrain marker. And then Perplex, but only to target a character adjacent to a terrain marker. This character plays this turn regardless of range and line of fire. So some more utility there. Really good equipment. Then Perdegaton, we all know what Perdegaton does. Just a really great piece for 20 points. Time Breakers. Let's see. He was using the Time Breakers to move Colossus, I think. But another thing to take into consideration is Time Breakers can move your opponent's figures too. I think I did see him do that a couple times where he moved his opponent's figure a certain direction. So really good pieces. Don't cost against your action total. And then we got the Lucas and PJ and Scott bystander token. Just a really good 5 points. I think this frickin' Pog's up to like $70. So, and you get that Empower, Sidestep. Adjacent friendly characters' powers have protected Pulse Wave, and it has protected Pulse Wave as well. So just a good, 5 points to throw on a team. Then Sideline, we're looking at Mind Gem. A really good one-shot card. When an opposing character is hit, after resolutions, you may choose a power that character can use. That character can't use that power until your next turn. So a really good Infinity Gem right there. Then Fortify, if you're taking any mass damage, you flip it and you only take that one. Then we got Beetlejuice, of course, like one of the most meta figures. Then, of course, we got Chthon. Like I said, you have him on Ghost Rider to deal that, 5 damage plus, depending on what you're doing. Then we got, like I said, Scarlet Witch giving Ghost Rider Penetrating Psychic Blast and Shape Change. I believe that's what it was. I could be mistaken, actually. And it'd be the first style. I can't remember actually off the top of my head if he was giving it, if he was giving Ghost Rider Prob or Shape Change. I almost want to say maybe it was Prob. But then you're kind of wasting that attack power. But I still think that Penetrating Psychic Blast and Shape Change is really good too. And then, he's using the Alien Aquarium. And then we also got Major Brock's Bunker. Very meta, very competitive map. Monster Island too. I've seen so many people use Monster Island. Didn't realize how much of a kind of meta competitive map it would be as well. Then terrain markers, we got the heart-shaped herb, the phone booth, and scaffolding. A little bit of elevated. You could potentially use that to block stuff. You're like moving that around the map, or any of those terrain markers really with Black Panther. And that's another really good thing too. I think, Brock's Bunker has a lot of elevated, and Ghost Rider can just basically go anywhere on that map. So some of the questions I saw being asked about this team online. Why the Crimson Gem on Ghost Rider? I think it was in most of the games I saw it be played, he was picking up the phone booth with Ghost Rider, but it could also be to bust through the walls. Something like Major Brock's Bunker. You can basically go anywhere on that map. You can go straight through, the wall and elevated terrain like that. Makes him a really good attacker. Very mobile attacker, honestly. Who was Ghost Rider's pilot? That was Scarlet Witch. And man, I almost want to say he was using the prob, but it would make more sense to me to use the Penetrating Psychic Blast and Shape Change. Then the Ring of Telekinesis. I think he did actually use the. I'm not sure if it was. He did do some moving of the terrain around. It might have been to damage some people on the elevated train. I think you can put it underneath them and then take it back out and stuff like that. I think I do remember him doing that. I want to say it was in the final round. And then who was carrying what? I think they're just referring to Ghost Rider was carrying the phone booth and Colossus was carrying the heart-shaped herb. So the takeaways here, I think, is just using a really well-costed, put-together team. This is a well-thought-out team. It was very tried and tested. Everything is really good for its points. Like, it's a team full of really good utility, big players. So I think that worked really well for it. And luckily we won't have to be seeing, most of this is actually rotating out, so you won't be having to see Colossus, Ghost Rider, and Kevin. You won't have to see those next year. You probably will see some of those in silver. Some interesting takeaways, I thought, is Ghost Rider was a really mobile piece. He could go over elevated, he could bust through walls, he could pick up, blocking terrain or whatever if he needed to, and he could deal mass damage. Colossus was just a serious tank, getting past the 22 defense. Then you have that impervious. It can't be outwitted, and it reduces pen. Kevin, just the best support piece in the game, I would say. That's really what I like. So Colossus is probably one of the best beat sticks in the game. Ghost Rider's, honestly, I don't know what to call him. I would say he's one of the best super rares before rotation in the game. So mobile, does a lot of damage. You can put so much on him. You have Chthon, and then you have an equipment, and then you have the pilot, Scarlet Witch. That's so much to add on to him. It's crazy. And then, like I said, Kevin is just like the best support, probber in the game. He gets to do basically 2 probs. Black Panther, adding some utility. You get to snipe stuff off people's sideline. You get that free ring of telekinesis, which is pretty nifty on this team. Prodegaton is just, probably the best 20-point character in the game. You get prob and different stuff. I'm not sure which starting line you had him on. I'm trying to remember. I want to say the first one is the one that most people use him on, but I could be mistaken. And then we have the time breakers, which are just really good. You can pop. He had 5 of them. You just pop them in. You could move your pieces, or you can move your opponent's pieces. So those are super good. Then we got Lucas and PJ and Scott, just the best 5 points probably in the game, as well as just a really good sideline, to support the team. You got Beetlejuice, Chthon, Khonshu, Scarlet Witch. I think I did do the math on this team. I like to take into consideration how much a team costs. I think Colossus is around 50, the Destroyer armor. These are all prices I checked just recently on eBay. Colossus was 50, Destroyer was like 20, Ghost Rider was like 25, Crimson Gen's like a couple, Kevin I believe was still around 200, Khonshu was around 200 as well, Black Panther was between 150 and 200, I can't remember off the top of my head. Ring of Telekinesis, I have it down as 30 because you had to buy the Owl Bears. Prodegaton, I think he was actually like a $20 rare. Timed breakers, I think I had it for like $20 for all 5 of them. The Lucas token is up to $70. Some other expensive things here. I think Chthon's still like 30 or $40. Did I say Khonshu? I think I did. Scarlet Witch is like 60. Major Box Bunker is like a $50 map. So everything added up, like best, I had it as like the product it came in, like as the Cave of Owlbears, not just the Ring of Telekinesis. So I believe the grand total of this team is $850 or around that. And that's not really considering that you pulled any of these pieces. That this is if you want to go out there and buy this team today. Be around $850. But that about wraps it up for this one. I hope you all found this video helpful. I just wanted to throw a quick congratulations to Joseph Harris on his 2025 World's Championship win. And until next time, we'll catch you in the next video.